Today, we are again very privileged to have Amana, who is my partner, who oversees the operations from Hong Kong. He is really a person with a heart for learning. So he has many accolades and many awards to his name. So many, so much more than me. Okay, and he's also the chartered management consultant. And actually, he has actually did a consultancy project with an education institution in Hong Kong. And I supported him in the research. And together we put up a report. But he is the person who actually met the client and distilled everything together and presented his project so that whatever we did, it became something that the organization can use for their students.
So thank you very much, Daniel. I'm so honored to share this past case from the consultancy lens. How did I use the DISC Asia Plus in one of my consulting project in Hong Kong for university, which is quite interesting and very challenging because very seldom university will engage with an external consultant to support their work. So I asked Daniel to support because they request a lot of research data about how to use DISC in helping their graduates. In that year, during COVID, they have around 1,200 students to be graduate. And probably you will remember at that time, no student can go to the school. They are studying online, and people are, how to say, being isolated, and in a very difficult times. So first of all, I like to introduce this case. The challenge presented to us is because the final year of a business faculty student, they face career uncertainty, and under the COVID, actually, their emotional stress uh, cannot name and mentioned. So because they just have this feeling and they don't have the data to support the university how to deal with this kind of challenge. And one of the teaching staff, she studied DISC with us, and she thought that maybe an assessment and understand from the group result probably will give the university a better pictures, understand the student current situation and the behavioral preferences as well as emotional status, so that they can tailor make or design some intervention to support the student employability in the market. So this is the original thought from the university. And because of this large number of reports, that is very important to really challenge our system, our platform. And also the request is not only because of the general assessment. They want to use the results, especially related to their emotional response. In fact, the university screened all the DISC assessment tools in the market, and they found that only DISC Asia Plus offer these emotional response factors. That is what they really looking for. So they decided to work with us. And they also face the challenge, the traditional career service, counseling service may not enough to support such a large number of students. And probably the most important, we identify their needs. How do they increase the employability of those graduate students? Because in the market, employer doesn't just looking for skill set or academic result. They're really looking for some talents, employee. They have behavioral intelligence and also emotional readiness to face the tough situation of economy downturn and also uncertainty of because of this COVID at that years in 2022. We understand the students are very frustrated. And number one, they don't know what the employer really want to see from the interview. And they actually already employ a lot of AI tools, assessment tools in order to conduct a behavioral interview. So the student actually they they are not lack of academic result, they are not lack of knowledge. What do they lack of? What make them being accepted by the potential employer? That is the challenge we identify. And actually, the gap between the student and the employer, there is a big gap because the behavioral and the emotional response do not support them go through the tough interview. And this was identified by the university faculty. And that's why they look for help from external consultant. How could they bridge this gap to make the student more confident and well prepared to go into the interview process? So the tools we offer to them, not just the assessment tools, actually we kind of provide them uh, the assessment tools plus design how to use those data and help the university to develop some tailor-made solution for certain group of people. So later on, when we present the finding from the result, then you will see a very interesting finding, and that is supported by Daniel. We develop something tailor-made, customized to them in order to increase their employability through interview. So our solution is more kind of a consultative approach, not just we provide the assessment, and even though we train the staff in the university how to monitor this kind of assessment project, how to collect this data from our system, and they can also do some research through the data collected. But in the first place, we did a template, we did our first round of research and let them understand how to use the DISC report data to support their career counseling. So at that year, actually, I just go through some basic consulting process, followed by the ISO 2700. And at that time, I think I don't know this process is so useful. It is just a standard checklist. How to make use of this standard checklist to connect and communicate with our client from a consultant point of view. So when I prepare this case study, I asked Daniel, what is our consulting principle from DISC Asia Plus? And I find that is very matched with that cases we deliver to our clients. So basically, we through the assessment, we discover and diagnosis those data and formalize some insight. And the insight, we we use the data to develop the solution and working with the university hands in hands to support their teachers, to support their admin staff, to continuous develop their internal intervention to support 1,200 students. What is the career bridge that you designed for our report? Can you
Uh,
help me
yeah.
to understand more?
So basically, you can see this chart that is already being shown and displayed by Amana's slide. So on the left side, you have your personality, right? Who you are, what your strength, what are your special attributes. Your needs are basically your career needs. Okay, so you need to explore and arrive at your own self-concept. What do you like to do? What do you do best in? What kind of environment are you looking for? And within the next 2, 3 years, what might be your own career projection? Now, on the other hand, is the environment. Okay, so out there in the world, what are the careers that are available that is suited to you? What's the role, perception, the group norms, and the management policies, so on and so forth. Okay, so once you know these two ends, then you build a bridge, right? What you can offer, in other words, when you go for the interview, is always a psychological contract. The organization is putting their best foot to try to attract you. So they will tell you what the company offers. Then on the other hand, you are also putting your best foot forward to tell the company why they should hire you or at least consider you. Okay. So the more you know about yourself, self-awareness, the more you know about the environment, which was just now what I think Jonathan was trying to allude to. And then when you attend the interview, there is a certain synergy. Once you are able to build this bridge, it helps you to move across to where you want to be. So the career then it's a vehicle to bring you to your destination. So this is in a nutshell how the report based on career advice, career guide, as well as the possible career choice has been developed.
I think very important from what I learned from Daniel, we are not just providing assessment. Actually, we are supporting our clients to help the user from the university to go through a transformation journey. When they graduate from the school, they enter to the job market. How could they uh, prepare themselves to face the challenge during interview? Because interview is the first gatekeeper. If you don't pass on the interview, you don't perform what the behavior the employer looking for, then you just lose the chance. So that's why we help the student to understand themselves first, know themselves, and then they can imagine particular job environment, what the employer really looking for the suitable candidate. And from here, because our report drawing some data from the database of ONET online, actually they provide certain category of the job that the individual, after they understand their behavioral preferences, they can apply those category of the job. Later on, I will show you a sample. So interesting enough, through the DISC group result analyze, we identify no matter is female or male student, actually they are more tends to be very low pace, steadiness, and compliance. And just slightly 20% more of the student from 1,200 report, they are very proactive and result driven and influencing. So the DI sector are less, and also SC sector is the majority in that year, the student population. And also the report in 2022, we include the emotional response with 60 questions, and we collect the data from those students. Surprisingly, we find out their self-consciousness and anxiety level are quite high. And it is not just a small number of students, it's majority of the students have this high response to self-consciousness, anxiety, and apprehensions. So because of this results come out, we could say that uh, they from the natural self more stable, they are kind of very persistent in structure and clarity. And also from the work pace, if they are uh, adapt to the environment, they tend to more using the compliance to react to the environment. So that means they are more anxiety, worry of their standard and their accuracy. So in this case, the student have a very sensitive when people looking at them during interview and maybe asking some challenging question to them, so they will step back and keep silent. They cannot react. So this is something that we identify. We need to help the student well prepare the tough situation under pressure. How do they react to the interviewer? So, and also we through the result, we identify majority of the student, they are overly monitored through their environment. They see people are looking at them, evaluating them. So maybe sometimes giving them negative feedback. So their anxiety is overtaking the normal response, and they are hesitation, delay their communication and articulation. So this is something that we find in that year, the graduate student facing challenges. And through this understanding, we develop tools that insert this worksheet into our report. Usually our report will not have this worksheet, but because of these cases, I asked Daniel, and Daniel asking the programmer to help us. So this is the form we draft, decided by our team. So tonight, one of our team member, Michelle Lee, is also on the Zoom. So this design we come up and want to help the student, even though the teacher or our consultant is not there. They look at their report and they can draw the data, fill in the blank on the worksheet, and they come up with some actionable item and some information are useful for them to consider their career path planning. So, and also from this group result, we help the university to design some special event or intervention. They can provide mentoring and coaching system for them, even though after this exercise, they can have a certain kind of support from the university before they really go into the job market. So we use the DISC as one of the how to say uh, design the program curriculum for those students. And bear in mind, at that time, the student is not in the university. They are studying at home. And some students actually cannot cross the border. They are mainland students in China, and they cannot come to Hong Kong at that times. And this is very interesting when we look at their report. In the last session, there is a career guide option, and we find out majority of the job, this group of students on the top three kind of career is interpersonal relationship. They prefer to do, even though they prefer a job related to developing peoples, and their preference is guiding and directing and motivating subordinates. So through the report, actually, we find out the student actually tends to do people job. Probably it's because these faculty are from the business administration faculty. They are business oriented. So when the student studying this faculty, probably they are more tend to do people jobs. And the lower three kind of job or career actually is organizing, planning, prioritizing, and also developing objective and strategy. So this indication, we told the teachers, it doesn't mean it is stable and permanent preferences. They might change in the long run, but at that moment when they try to find the new first job, probably they will feel easier and more follow their passion is identify the job is dealing with people rather than dealing with tasks. So from this angle, we before this project and after this project, we find the objective are being achieved through increasing their interview confidence and clarify their career choices. And through the training, the teacher can support and equip them more, articulate their communication, and encourage them to talk to the interviewer and present their strength rather than avoid to discuss and to confront the challenging question. So also, and through the emotional response, they kind of reduce the risk when they under pressure. They realize this is normal, and the anxiety and apprehension and self-consciousness is how these three factors affecting their work behavior and performance. So we cannot say we solve all the problem, but at least it's giving them some evidence and information support them to really think about their future careers.